And welcome back to the Create Mod here on Music Free Gaming. It is great to have you here, and I am in my garage, and I started this a little bit in the last video, and then got really bored putting stone cutters up on the roof, but it looks really cool. Check that out. That is an awesome ceiling with the stone cutters and the frog lights. I love it. Oh, it turned out so nice. Took some inspiration from Pearlescent Moon, and it is fabulous. But that is not what the plan is today. So let me jump through here and I'll show you what's going on. In the last episode, I started building this redstone factory, right? And I've got it set now. It'll generate redstone torches, which is great. But I've come to a realization that building these things is going to end up using a lot of belts, right? Just this factory, it's got a couple of belts. Obviously, I've got this going on. And that's going to use a lot of kelp. And I don't have a lot of kelp. Whenever I need kelp, I head out to the ocean and I go harvest it. And that's just becoming a real pain in the neck, especially as I build out more of these factories and need more and more of these belts. So I think what I'm going to do today is get started on a kelp farm, and that's going to be fun. I've been meaning to build one for a while, so let's get to that. All right, so I'm over here by the farms and stuff. The kelp farm is going to be out this way, but before I get into that, I do want to mention I made a little change. I don't know if I'm going to keep it or not, but it's kind of interesting. I actually put in a little mod to hide my armor. Because it's just me, I'm running around out here. I figured, you know what? Rather than just seeing armor all the time, let's go ahead and just hide that so you can see my, well, sort of derpy skin, right? My cargo pants and overshirt and stuff. But, hey, it's cool. So just a quick little change here. It's just for those of you who, does anybody care? Maybe, but we'll just, figure out how to explain it. So let's meander over here and kind of show you where I'm really bad at landing today, apparently. There's no such thing as a soft landing when you go face first into a wall. You might think it would be a soft landing, even in sand, but no. Nope, it just makes your face feel really painful. So this is where I want to put the kelp farm. And you can see I've got some kelp planted in way too neat and orderly rows. Now, the reason I want to put this here is actually because of this cave right here. Right? This place right here is really the perfect place to tuck in a contraption. And I suppose breathing is probably a thing I should do here. Hang on. I can't breathe. Breathing's bad. Okay. Yeah, I figured what I could do is tuck a harvester in this little cave here, have it dump out into some sort of machine storage or whatever this way, and then basically pump it up here where it can then be made available for pickup by, my trucks and stuff. So that's the plan. However, I've got a couple of things I need to do before I can really get started on the farm. So let's get into that. The first thing I need to do to start prepping this area is I need power, right? If I want to run contraptions and stuff, like everything in Create, I need rotational power. And I need to get that from over there, right? Because that's where my power plant is. That's where everything is. But there's also this river in the way, and that's going to be a little bit of a problem. So I have a solution to this. And what I have is a diving helmet and backpack, right? So we'll turn off the hiding of the armor. And so now I am all ready to go diving. Now, what's cool about this is you can come down here, the diving boots let me just walk like I'm on land, And this copper back tank, combined with the diving helmet, basically it's giving me 25 minutes of air. And then I can refill it just by plugging it into a rotational power source. And as I'm also getting night vision, right? If I take my helmet off, I guess I'm not. I thought I was, but I'm not. So I thought it was helping me see better. But regardless, this will make dealing with all of the underwater part of this project so much easier. The drawback with the diving boots is I can't swim. But if I take them off, then I can swim just fine and everything's wonderful. So that's going to make parts of this project so much easier. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull power from this line that's coming from my main base over here. Now, assuming I could jump up and show it to you, right? This is my workshop. There's my washer and dryer. There's all of those machines. Now I can come off this. Now this is running at max speed. I'm not entirely sure I necessarily need that versus coming off the regular speed of the steam engines. On the other hand, if I need to slow it down, I can. So what I'm going to do is let's grab some vertical gearboxes, right? Because I need to go down. And I think the plan is I'm going to come down. I'm just going to run right down the middle of the railroad here and go right under the bridge over to the island. Okay? So let's jump ahead and get that done. Why am I not breathing? Because I'm wearing elytra. That's why I'm not breathing. Okay. Hey, turns out elytra does not help you breathe nearly as well as the giant oxygen tank. Elytra is great for getting you through the air, less great for helping you breathe underwater. I should hopefully remember that next time. All right, so I've got power run all the way across. Now, I said this is where the contraption's going to go, so I really didn't need to run the power all the way over there. But I have plans, so I figured since I'm down here working on this anyway, let's go ahead and just run the power all the way to the far end of the island. Or of the bridge, anyway. So that I can hook that up when it's time. All right, so this is the area where I want the farm. And I figured what I would do, I had kind of sort of centered this, but not really. So I may end up moving some... Why am I not breathing? Because I didn't actually put the backpack on. Okay, breathing. Breathing is good. This is a thing I need to learn one of these days. Anyway, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know how wide I actually need this to be. I think maybe if I go 6, 7, that might be good. My kelp's not lined up. I'll have to, or actually it looks like I've got one extra line of kelp. Yeah, this is lining up over here. This side is not. Right, this row of kelp is right here, and that's fine. I can take that out. That's perfectly okay. So, I think what I want to do is let's go ahead and take this out, and probably just to make life easier for me, let's take out a little bit of this too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little gantry shaft here. And let's run this down this way. So I think I'm set up here. So I've got everything hooked up, I think, to the gantry. I think that's going to work out okay. And this is now going up that way. And what I have happening up top is I have one of these, what is this? A sequence gear shift. So what I want to do is turn the piston. I want this is going to go a ways. I'm going to have to calculate that out, figure out how far that needs to go. But So that'll go that way, and then we need to turn and come back, probably double speed back the same amount, whatever that ends up being, and wonderful. And now it's all powered by this daylight sensor, right? So it's night, and then it gets to be daylight, and that thing kicks off. And let's see how far this goes. Looks like that went about halfway. Okay. You know, it'd be really cool though, is if it like continued. So it broke. Oh, okay. Probably the double speed thing. Okay, cool. Let me go pick that up and get that going again. All right, a little testing later. I've got the distances set. So now what I need to do is get down here, build the contraption, and also set up the collection system. You know, I went through all that trouble to get that mod to hide my armor, and then I turn it off so that you can see my epic diving suit. Yep, the best laid plans, man. I decided to move the sequential gear shift down here. Now, the cool thing is, it turns out you can place these wireless dealy bobs underwater, which is fabulous. And the reason I did this is I want to come in here, right, probably right about there, grab a gearbox here, and I need to connect up some stuff. I need to connect up a thing, a mechanical belt. That's the ticket. Also, this is going to be up. This is going to be too high. This is going to be a problem. Okay, well, I'll figure that out. But I need to connect this to a mechanical belt, which is going to run this way. Unfortunately, there isn't enough room for a, I need a funnel. Or a chute right here. So hopefully this will be enough storage space. I think it will be. Cool. So I think that's going to work. Let me go trigger the daylight sensor, make sure this thing runs, and then we'll do a little bit more work on actual storage. All right, so I've got a mechanical belt in place. I did have to stick a gearbox under there, but that's cool. And I was just doing some testing. And yeah, if you've got something underwater, it'll still grab onto the mechanical belt and zip its way over. So that's going to work just peachy. So all I need to do now is hook a chute or something right off this, and that'll be awesome. I also need to get in here and actually finish this contraption. Right? So grab all of my harvesters. Now, said the first round here is definitely going to be a mess because I've got all of this kelp out here that's definitely taller than my machine. I'm hoping that by running this every day, I won't end up with it growing too tall. If it does end up growing regularly, significantly taller, then maybe what I'll do is add another row to the harvester, because that should be okay. So, also I think I'm going to add some more kelp coming out this way, just so that the harvester is... Well, I might as well use the space to collect more stuff, right? And more of the kelp is up there. So let me go take off my boots, collect that kelp, and then we'll start to see how this goes. All right, so I have everything hooked up down here. I glued the contraption together. I've got a chute connected up to the vault here, coming in here onto the mechanical belt. So, since conveniently enough it's night, let's just go ahead and go to sleep. We'll see this machine run, hopefully. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, we've got a zillion and a half kelp, but I'm not worried about the stuff that it missed. We'll just see what it collects. All right, so just a quick run. That's a lot of kelp. 9, 10, 11, almost 11 and a half stacks. Now that's assuming it's mostly full when this runs. And we'll see. This will actually be an interesting test just to see how much this actually grows during the day here. Kelp grows fast, but I don't think it grows quite that fast. So I don't think these plants are all going to be taller than this contraption by the time a full day and a night pass. But it might be. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But in the meantime, I now need to get a nice way of getting the kelp up here where I want to do some processing on it. I haven't quite finished the night out, but you can see like some of this kelp right here. There's my machine. Kelp is definitely taller. So adding one more row of stuff here is probably a good thing. I'm going to need some more glue to do it, but I think that's going to be, I think it's actually going to be really cool if I can get this going. Yeah, so we'll get this up here. And so, yeah, let me expand this and we'll see how much I collect here when the morning comes. All right. Wow. I didn't quite realize it was daytime yet, but I guess that's going to go do its thing. Okay, I don't know why it triggered, but it did. Something definitely triggered this, which is okay. It went off. It's close enough during the day that I'm happy with it. Yeah, I don't know what caused this to go. Is it still, I don't know, whatever. In any case, I set these fans to blow all the kelp up in here, and I got 9 stacks plus. So I think that'll work out okay. This is gonna give me plenty of kelp. And yes, I will probably end up losing a little bit because I think the kelp will still grow just a touch higher than what I'm at. But I suppose if I needed to, I could cut down or add one more row to the harvester. But I think I'm pretty okay here. I think this is going to harvest plenty of kelp for me. And if I lose a little bit, I do, and it's not a huge deal. I mentioned the fans a moment ago. I realized I didn't actually show you how this works. What I did is I set an encased fan underneath this stack of chutes hooked up with some encased chain drives, and that is blowing the kelp all the way up here into this chest. And now that I'm getting the kelp up here, that is, well, that's half the job done. The next step is going to be to actually start the crafting, but I think that's going to have to wait till next week because I am out of time for today. But thank you all for hanging around. Don't forget, like the video, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. And until next time, be excellent to each other. And this is Music Free Gaming signing off.